Get your fix. Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022, and welcome to the show, whether that be on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the like, hit the share, and on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It would be much, much appreciated. A lot of shit popping off today. A lot of shit revolving around one team, and that team just happens to be right on my wall. The Miami Dolphins are making moves, folks. They're going to be an absolute wagon next year. I mean, the AFC in general is going to be electrifying to watch. The NFC, hey, I don't know about them, but just imagine, okay, you got the NFL, the AFC. That's what the NFL kind of looks like. You got the NFC. That's like a high school team that was kind of put together and thrown out to the wolves that said, hey, good luck, buddy. So if I had to guess, hey, if there's a team that's going to win the Super Bowl, expect it to be on the AFC side of things, because the AFC is absolutely loaded with superstars. More superstar players have been traded or moving from the NFC to the AFC. So, hey, things are about to get real interesting. The Miami Dolphins made some massive moves within the last 24 hours. We'll talk about that here to start the show. The New England Patriots also bring back a familiar face in which he was just on a visit. I think it was 2 days ago. I want to say, I believe that's correct. So that'll be interesting as well to kind of dive into. The Eagles also land a wide receiver, in which we all know that they've had some issue at that position. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was, I think it was, 3 years ago from this year's draft, they ended up getting Jalen Reagor, a pick before the Minnesota Vikings get Justin Jefferson. Jalen Reagor, okay, didn't pan out. It is what it is, but a lot of people are kind of throwing shade his way, saying that he's not the guy that they should have taken that high in the draft. And well, it's kind of unfair to kind of compare him to Justin Jefferson, even though they were right next to each other in picks. Jalen Reagor is a completely different animal than Justin Jefferson, and we know what Justin Jefferson is capable of and has been capable of. I mean, the man is a genius. Jalen Reagor, sorry about it, buddy. But then last year they go out and they draft Alabama wide receiver Devontae Smith. This is supposed to bring some energy back into that wide receiver room. It kind of did. It kind of revamped it a little bit. But the Eagles, I mean, obviously they made that playoff run. They lose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a poor fashion. Obviously, the Buccaneers just stomped all over them. So the wide receiver room was one of those areas where they really needed to fix. They needed to figure out, hey, what do we do at this position? How do we make it better? Who do we got to go get to make this room that much more exciting, that much more poised to bring us success, if you will. So they go out, they land a wide receiver. We'll dive into that to kind of end the show. And then Bobby Wagner, still a free agent, but he's on a visit today. And I guess, hey, if the visit goes good, both sides think it's a good fit, a deal might possibly get done. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? So we started off, hey, Miami Dolphins. Wow. I mean, who would have ever thought, okay, that the Miami Dolphins would be going out here making literally splash moves? Hey, I want that guy. Oh, I also want this guy. Give me some of that guy, maybe him. Oh, and then we're going to go out and fucking bam, Tyreek Hill. So here's what kind of happened within the last 24 hours. We already know about all the other signings of what kind of happened. I'll dive into them here in a sec. But yesterday, I think it was like right after the show or kind of during the show or whatever it was, the Miami Dolphins went out and signed the number one free agent on the NFL's, I think it was like the Player Football Focus list or the NFL's list, who was like, they listed the free agents, number 1 through whatever number was left basically. And the number one free agent was offensive tackle Terron Armstead. formerly of the New Orleans Saints. He was on the market. He was going to get paid big bucks, and the Miami Dolphins said, hey, let me get a piece of that. Let me get a piece of that. Come here. Come over here. Come here. We need you. Because if you don't know, the Miami Dolphins were actually ranked 32nd as a pass blocking unit in the NFL. They let up like 235 or whatever pressures to the quarterback, which was the most in the NFL by a long shot. So their offensive line was not that great, and that's kind of where I look at it as, hey, this ain't Tua's fault. Like, Tua is not that bad of a quarterback. He hasn't had the right pieces around him. He hasn't had a good offensive line. I mean, we've seen what happened with Joe Burrow. He got sacked 9 times against the Tennessee Titans in a playoff game because his offensive line was literally nowhere to be found. So you really don't get the full extent of a player when you don't have the right personnel around him. Tua Tagovailoa did whatever he could, however he could, to try to be a good quarterback in this league. The Miami Dolphins decided to stick with him. Obviously, Mike McDaniel, their new head coach, comes over from San Francisco, who actually established that running game or that running system over there in San Fran, now brings that over to Miami. And from what I've been seeing, this man is an absolute... he's so exciting to like watch, and you can tell that he's a player's coach first. He's not going to be like on your ass and like telling you, hey, why'd you do that wrong? Oh, so you didn't read the playbook. All right, get the fuck on the bench. Somebody else get in there. He's not going to be that type of guy. He's going to be that guy that's kind of go out there and be like, now, why'd you do this? Okay? All right, I understand that, but here's how you could do it a little bit different. The way we set it in place is how you got to kind of go about your business. If you still want this job, it's yours, but you got to go out there and work for it. And he's really a guy that's just, fun to kind of watch. You can tell that he's bringing in all these free agents, making all these signings, these splash signings, and a trading or having a trade today. I mean, it kind of seems like everyone is buying into this Mike McDaniel as the new head coach for the Miami Dolphins, and I'm all for it. The man's electrifying. He's fun to watch. He's interesting in his interviews and his press conferences. It's just, it's going to be a fun time down there in Miami. But the Miami Dolphins yesterday, like 22 or 23 hours ago, land offensive tackle Terron Armstead. Okay, they reached an agreement on a 5-year, $75 million deal. He gets $43.37 million of that guaranteed. So, after that signing, this special teamer, Keon Crossan. Then they signed fullback Alec Ingold from, I believe, the Las Vegas Raiders. They also signed wide receiver Trent Sherfield. Then they get a backup for Tua, formerly of from the Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers, and the Minnesota Vikings, quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. Then they go out, they sign wide receiver Cedric Wilson. I believe I think he was a free agent. He was there on their team last season. He gets re-signed by the Miami Dolphins, so that's a plus. Then they go out there and, they signed former 49ers running back Raheem Mostert. Dude was fast as shit a couple years ago when he went to the Super Bowl with the Niners to play against the Chiefs, and that was what the Niners offense was all about. Run, 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 run. We're going to take the ball, we're going to run it down your throat, and you can't do nothing about it. How you doing? Keep moving. So they bring in Raheem Mostert, add a little speed to that backfield, because I've been on the Miami Dolphins saying, hey, Myles Gaskin ain't cutting it. All right, it's just not cutting it. You got to have a little bit of a 1-2 punch, and I think they got this 1-2 punch now with Myles Gaskin and Raheem Mostert. Then after that, they go sign running back Chase Edmonds, formerly of the Arizona Cardinals. Chase Edmonds, another speedster. So we're looking at a fast fucking team. We're going to punch you in the mouth before you even see it coming. That is what they're going to be trying to do. They're going to run it right up the gut, do a lot of sweeps, do a lot of whatever the hell they want to do, because that's just that's what speed's going to bring them, basically. So now they got Myles Gaskin, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert at their running back position. That's just fine. Wide receivers, we'll get to that in a sec, but they got Cedric Wilson, Jalen Waddell, he broke the single-season rookie receiving record, so that was a plus. Obviously, his little fucking waddle dance, that was electrifying. I'm glad he embraced his last name like that. That is kind of cool. Then they go out and they sign guard Connor Williams, a big, big signing from the Miami Dolphins. They tagged tight end Mike Gesicki, obviously. That was the main goal, the main thing they had to focus on to start the offseason. Hey, we need to keep Mike, okay? He's not only a tight end, but he's a wide receiver for us. He plays the majority of the snaps in the slot position. He's going to go out there. He's going to catch balls. He's fast as shit. He's ready to rock and roll. He's a top 10 tight end in the NFL. Then they re-signed defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah. And now they sign offensive tackle Terran Armstead. This team is built for speed. This team is built to make a run. Okay, Miami actually put up a decent fight last year towards the end of the season where they started off kind of sluggish. Then they started winning the rest of the ball games. I think they won 8 of their last 9 ball games. So good on them, all right? The Miami Dolphins are right there. They're ready to make a run. And they're actually trying. They're going all in right now. We've seen this last year with the Los Angeles Rams, okay? They trade all their fucking picks away to get Matthew Stafford, right? Fuck them picks. We don't need them. Let's bring Matthew fucking Stafford in the building. Oh, and then, by the way, halfway through the season, let's go get Odell Beckham Jr. because him and his dad don't seem too pleased with the way that Cleveland is kind of treating him. He's not getting the ball his way. He can't catch nothing. Let's bring him over to where he's going to have a lot of stardom, in L.A., where he can be the front and center of everything. I'm Odell Beckham Jr. How you doing? Keep it moving. And then all of a sudden they go out and they get linebacker Von fucking Miller and they make a Super Bowl run. They go out and they win Super Bowl 56. They're on top of the mountain because guess what? They went all in. Okay, they put all their chips in the middle and said, hey, I got better cards than you do, pal. I guarantee it. I got a fucking royal flush. Suck it. All right, that's what the Rams did. The Dolphins are trying to do that exact same thing. A little bit. Because just a couple hours ago, actually when I woke up, there was a whole bunch of tweets on my phone. I was like, what is going on? Developing. The Kansas City Chiefs have granted Tyreek Hill the opportunity to seek a trade. What? Are you kidding me? I thought contract extension talks were kind of happening right now. Well, they were happening. The Kansas City Chiefs and Tyreek Hill have been trying to work on a contract extension for the past week and a half, 2 weeks at this point. Well, after multiple tries of trying to get Tyreek to sign the dotted fucking line, he said, yeah, no, this ain't going to work out for me. I just watched Devontae Adams go get $28 million a year. Okay, we're going to have to bump that up a little bit if I'm going to have to deal with fucking Jackson Mahomes and Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay, I'm not going to fucking sit here and be the number 1 wide receiver and have distractions on the field like those two. Just not going to happen. That's probably not the case, but that's what I'm saying. So, after the contract extensions kind of stalled and kind of stopped, the Chiefs said, fuck it. Go find a trade. Go find somebody that wants you. There were multiple suitors, multiple teams that were interested in Tyreek Hill. And then in the end, two teams remained, and those were the Jets and the Miami Dolphins. So where's he going? Is this actually going to happen? Are the Jets going to go out there? Are they going to make a splash signing? Because guess what? That ain't going to help their franchise too much more than what they already are. Okay, that's what I believe. If he goes to the Jets, probably not that good. The Miami Dolphins, though, on the list I just read you, are building an organization that is ready for the playoffs, that is ready to compete against the rest of the teams in the AFC that have made splash moves this free agency and this offseason, right? I mean, the Las Vegas Raiders go out and they get Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones. The Denver Broncos go trade for Russell Wilson. They also, hey, Bobby Wagner gets released from the Seahawks, but that's another story. The Los Angeles Chargers go get J.C. Jackson, who was supposed to get extended by the New England Patriots, but Bill said, I ain't paying you that money, so get out of here. So he gets out of there, he goes to Los Angeles. They also bring in Khalil fucking Mack over there in the Los Angeles Chargers, and multiple other moves have been made. The Bills land Von Miller. I mean, the AFC. The AFC is going to be absolutely crazy. AFC, in my opinion, stands for a fucking crazy conference. That's what it is, okay? It's a fucking crazy conference. It's going to be bonkers to watch, folks. It's going to be electrifying. Any team has the potential to make a playoff run, to make a Super Bowl run. And like I said at the beginning of the show, expect the AFC side of things to probably win this year's Super Bowl. It's probably going to be the case, if I had to guess. I mean, the NFC is kind of looking like the underdogs at this point, okay? The AFC kind of looking like the favorites. That's what I think the most, you're going to see a lot more people or a lot more viewership on the AFC side of things than you are NFC side of things, unless you're an NFC team fan. So the Miami Dolphins say, you know what? Give me fucking Tyreek Hill. So the Miami Dolphins decide, hey, we're going to trade for Tyreek Hill. We're going to give him that contract extension, whatever he needs to make him happy. He's our guy. So the Miami Dolphins trade for Tyreek Hill after contract extensions kind of stalled. So what does this all entail? What does this deal kind of entail? The Miami Dolphins, they get Tyreek. The Kansas City Chiefs, well, they get 5 total draft picks, folks. 5 total draft picks. They get 3 of them this year, which is a first-round draft pick, which is the 29th overall pick. They get a second-round pick, which is the 50th overall pick. And they get a 4th-round pick in this year's draft. They get 2 in next year's draft, which is the 4th-rounder, and a 6th-round draft pick. I think it's a good trade. I think that was a very, very, very good trade because there's plenty of wide receivers in this year's draft. Plenty of them. And on the other side of things, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, formerly a Green Bay Packer, is in Kansas City for a visit. And I think he might fill the void, if you will, the wide receiver void over there. They'll add that. So then they'll have Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Josh Gordon, Mecole Hardman. This team's okay. The Chiefs are okay. It might be a little different. It might be a little odd to see at first. I think they'll be fine. I mean, they got Patrick fucking Mahomes out there throwing rocks, so you can't expect too much different. And Travis Kelce's still over there, so makes a lot of sense. And it also makes a lot of sense for the sole fact that the Dolphins assistant general manager, Marvin Allen, was the Chiefs' director of college scouting for 5 years from 2013 to 2017 when the Kansas City Chiefs decided to draft Tyreek Hill. So there's some relationship there. There's some chemistry there. Hey, that's my guy. I told the Chiefs to draft this guy. Let's bring him to Miami. Let's amp this thing up. Let's go make a playoff push and a Super Bowl push because I think we can right now. We got a lot of firepower in our grasps. Okay? And they do. The Miami Dolphins have a lot of firepower right now with bringing in Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins' offensive skill groups now, at quarterback, you have Tua Tagovailoa, this fucker right here, Teddy Bridgewater. At wide receiver, they'll have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddell, Cedric Wilson, Devontae Parker, and Trent Sherfield. At running back, like I said, Chase Edmonds, Myles Gaskin, Raheem Mostert, in which Myles Gaskin is probably going to be the 3rd on the depth chart if I had to guess. At tight end, they got Mike Gesicki, Durham Smythe, Hunter Long. This team's ready to rock and roll, and their offensive line has only been getting better as well. Connor Williams at their guard position, Taron Armstead, offensive tackle position. I like this. I really, really do like this because if you remember in San Francisco last year, they had the tackle. What's his name? Something Trent, I think it was. But they have fucking their offensive tackle literally sprinting across the field and not really a motion, but like a pulling tackle basically, just sprinting across the backfield to help block for their running backs back there. And I think that all had to do with the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, and expect a lot of that to happen, a lot of fuckery kind of going around, a lot of like, whoa, what just happened here? I think they're going to open it up a little bit. I think they're going to get ready to sling the rock. They're going to get ready to run the rock. They're getting ready to have a really fun offense to witness, folks. I cannot wait to see this like literally unfold in front of our eyes. The Dolphins are literally putting their chips on the table and saying, give me them all. All right, give me them all. We got the team. We're ready to rock and roll. And who knows if they're done here. Because that head coach, Mike McDaniel, for some odd reason, I think he brings that I think he brings the Miami Dolphins to kind of like they make the Miami Dolphins, or he makes the Miami Dolphins a very attractive location for free agents, for other for other players and other teams to kind of come into the building and say, yeah, I'd like to be here. I would love to be here, play for Miami. And hey, it's working out. Tyreek Hill is from Georgia, so the heat shouldn't bother him too much. I had one of my coworkers, one of my buddies, George, tell me, he's like, I don't know, man. I think the heat's going to affect him a little bit. He's a fast receiver. He's going to start cramping up a lot. I can see that. I can understand that take. But he's from Georgia. So if he can't figure it out, that's on him. Stay hydrated. That's all you got to do. Just stay hydrated. Drink your pickle juice. Whatever you got to do to avoid those cramps. I think it's going to be a fun offense. It's going to be an electrifying offense. Miami's all in. And they, after trading for Tyreek Hill, because the contract extension talks kind of stalled in Kansas City, the Miami Dolphins knew right away, hey, we're going to have to give him an extension, going to have to pay him a large amount of money. So that's exactly what they did. So essentially, it's a 3-year, they extend him for a 3-year deal, $75 million. So basically, this is at Tom Pelissero. This is kind of the rundown of the contract. Clarification, as at Rap Sheet mentioned, Tyreek Hill's new contract also includes another non-guarantee year that pushes it to a 4-year deal worth $120 million. So it's a 4-year, $120 million. But in reality, it's a 3-year, $75 million, okay? So it's all through 2026. But effectively, it's the numbers above which beat Davante Adams in cash flow a strong year. So Tyreek, he knew, hey, Adams got paid. The best receiver in the NFL. I want his money or more. And that's what Miami kind of put on the table for him. Hey, we'll give you a 4-year, $120 million extension. That's $30 million a year. Okay? That's like $1.5 million more than Davante Adams. But your 4th year is going to be kind of an option year, whether you want to opt out of your contract or whether you want to sign with us again. We can give you another contract extension or whatnot. So basically, it's a 3-year, $75 million deal, but it goes into 4 years. Overall, like I said, it's a 4-year, $120 million. He gets $72.2 million guaranteed. And oh my goodness, I cannot wait to watch the Miami Dolphins. The AFC is absolutely stacked, folks. I mean, there's been multiple superstars going from the NFC to the AFC, as well from the AFC staying in the AFC. There's really only been like one big name player in the NFL that went from the AFC to the NFC. That's Carson Wentz. He went from the Colts to the Washington Commanders, obviously in a trade. But from the AFC to the AFC, Tyreek Hill goes from the Chiefs to the Dolphins. Deshaun Watson goes from the Texans to the Browns. Yannick Ngakoue goes from the Raiders to the Colts. And from the NFC to the AFC. Get ready for this. Davante Adams goes from the Packers to the Raiders. Russell Wilson goes from the Seahawks to the Broncos. Amari Cooper goes from the Cowboys to the Browns. Khalil Mack goes from the Bears to the Chargers. Matt Ryan goes from the Falcons to the Colts. Robert Woods goes from the Rams to the Titans. The AFC, hey, get fucking buckled up and enjoy the ride. I'm telling you, this upcoming season, last year's offseason was chaotic enough, right? Every offseason, I feel like we're always up here kind of saying like, oh, this is the most electrifying offense. I mean, the most moves have been made. The NFL is going to be so different next year. And it is, right? But this year, for some reason, just because how the amount of superstars that have been on the move, have been traded, have been released, have signed with new teams and new faces and new places. That's what it's all about. And with Tom Brady retiring, then unretiring, bringing back basically the whole Buccaneers offense and defensive players. I mean, this season, new referees are coming in. 8 of them retired after the end of last season. It is going to be electrifying to watch. I cannot wait to see what the AFC has in store for us. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be close games. It's going to be a lot of barn burners over there. March Madness is upon us, folks. Like, literally. Okay, not only with the college basketball March Madness going on, but March Madness with the NFL offseason, with the Minnesota Twins making all these trade deals. The Minnesota Wild has the same thing going on. Hockey in general, baseball in general, a lot of trades are happening. The AFC. I mean, geez Louise. The Dolphins, actually, their odds to win the Super Bowl after getting Tyreek Hill and Terron Armstead went from 70-1 to 40-1. Their odds to win the AFC went from 35-1 to 20-1. Massive jump. They're ready to rock and roll. This Dolphins team is poised to make a playoff push to potentially maybe put up a fight to win their division against the Patriots, the Bills, and the Jets. So, Jets are going to have to play against Tyreek Hill for, the next 3 years, potentially 4 years and beyond, 2 times a season. They missed out big time. Big time. But like I said, I don't think it would have changed much. And for everybody out there worried about Tua actually making a fucking throw to him, he'll figure it out, okay? He has an offensive line now in front of him. He has weapons surrounding him. Tua will be just fine. Tua will have it. He will make those throws. And if he doesn't, we'll learn really quick that he can't. And then, obviously, Teddy fucking Bridgewater time. Teddy Two Gloves comes in. All right, Don said, ha! And he throws the ball. So, Dolphins fans, congratulations. I mean, I'm pumped for you. I really, really am pumped for you guys. So, staying on kind of the AFC side of things, the New England Patriots had 2 people come in and visit the other day or 2 days ago. One of them being running back Leonard Fournette. Ultimately, he decided to go back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, signed his 2-year deal, whatever the hell it was. I can't remember. Let's see. He signed a 3-year, $21 million deal with $24 million. So, hey, that's a pretty massive deal for him. But the other one was cornerback Malcolm Butler. If you don't remember who Malcolm Butler is, well, he's the one who sealed the fucking deal for the New England Patriots, who were winning or who went on to win the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks when they decided instead of running the ball, hey, let's pass the ball. And Malcolm jumped the route, picked it off, game, set, match. Okay, that's who Malcolm Butler is. Then he kind of had that little scuffle or that little bickering back and forth that, blah, 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 Bill Belichick this, Bill Belichick that, the Patriots this, the Patriots that, and then he kind of gets released. He goes somewhere else. He goes to the Titans, I believe. He goes somewhere else as well. But he's coming back to New England Patriots. Cornerback Malcolm Butler is returning to New England on a 2-year, $9 million deal, and I'm all for it. I like this move, but the Patriots, obviously, not looking that great. But what are you going to do? I think they'll figure it out. You got Bill Belichick, the greatest head coach of all time, leading that offense, the greatest, or arguably the greatest GM of all time as well. It's going to be fun to see. But, hey, this is at My Sports Update, or Ari Mirov on Twitter. He says, players the Patriots let go for big money, elsewhere, only to eventually give back to them. So basically this is saying, hey, these guys played on New England at one point. They wanted massive deals. Bill wasn't going to pay him because he can find somebody else that will do just as good of a job for less money. So get out of town, go get your money, and then come back crying to mama when you actually need some more, okay? And this is kind of the players, the breakdown of who all have done this. So Malcolm Butler's one of them now. He was a Patriot, went on to go get bigger money, didn't really pan out, comes back to New England on a 2-year, $9 million deal. Kyle Van Noy also did the same thing, was a Patriot, went to Miami, came back to New England, gets released. Jamie Collins did it twice. He was on New England. Who did he go after New England? I want to say he went to the Cardinals or something like that. Comes back to New England, leaves, and then goes back to New England again. Trent Brown did the same thing. Patrick Chung did the same thing. Deion Branch did the same thing. And there's one more guy. Hey, Trey Flowers. He left New England, last year to go to the Detroit Lions for big money. And he's still a free agent. So he could come back in the mix as well. New England, they're just they're just, like I said, they're the mom that said, go get a fucking job. Okay? And then if you need some more money, come crying back to me, because I'll do anything for you. All right? So that's basically what New England Patriots are doing right now. Good on them. So, Bobby Wagner, still a free agent. Where is he going to go? No idea. Is he going to stay in the NFC West? That's a real possibility. You know why? Well, he's visiting the Los Angeles Rams today. I bet that visit's going really, really well. The Rams were hoping to bring back Von Miller. That didn't work out. He goes to the Buffalo Bills. So now there's still a void at the linebacker position, the pass rushing position. They need somebody who can fill that, be a leader, and just amp this team up that much more to make another Super Bowl run. So Bobby Wagner is in the building. I like this fit. I really do. Not as a Vikings fan, but I like this fit because once the Rams got Von Miller, it seemed as if they were kind of unstoppable. Not really unstoppable, but it was hard to stop them most of the time. Because you never know who's going to be coming in or who's going to be blitzing at what point in the game. You never know what gaps are going to be coming in. You never know where they are specifically. Because you got to focus on, who's that number 99 guy? Aaron Donald. You got to focus on Aaron Donald, okay? Jeez Louise, Urban. I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he... Whatever. But you got to focus on Aaron Donald. And now if you have to do that, you also have to shift your focus to Bobby Wagner. Puts the other offense in kind of a pickle, if you ask me. Like, do we run the ball? I don't know, man. Bobby Wagner, Aaron Donald, you can't run it up the gut. And if you run it to the side, you better hope Bobby ain't coming. You better hope, man. Do we pass it? Do we have a good offensive line to block both of those guys? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. The Rams, if they get Bobby Wagner, if they land Bobby Wagner, oofda. Rams going to the Super Bowl if that's the case. I don't know. Well, I mean, only time to tell. He's in for a visit. Not a huge signing, but a good signing, I think, to kind of add depth to that wide receiver room. I'm sure the Eagles will probably go out and land yet another wide receiver, Chris Olave, Garrett Olson being two of them. They're actually having their pro day today with C.J. Stroud, their quarterback, throwing to them, as well as Cardale Jones, who actually played in the XFL. He's coming in. He's throwing balls at Ohio State's pro day right now, or probably was a couple hours ago, to those guys. So they land Zach Pascal, or the Eagles land Zach Pascal on a 1 year, about $1.5 million guaranteed. He can add another $1 million to that with incentives. So good for the Eagles to kind of add some depth there, and looking forward to watching them perform. Even though I don't think they're going to be that great, I think they'll be just fine, but not as great as the AFC. Good on the Miami Dolphins. I mean, hey, keep on keeping on, basically, is how I'm putting it that way. So, hey, that is all I got for you guys today. An electrifying couple of weeks we've had here. Multiple new faces and new places. You know, Devontae Adams gets traded. Russell Wilson gets traded. Tyreek Hill gets traded. Carson Wentz gets traded. You know, Bobby Wagner gets released. A hell of a lot of moves have been made. It has been awesome to kind of cover, to kind of see what the NFL might potentially look like next year. And I'm pumped for it. I'm excited, especially with the draft coming up in in about a month or so. So I'm excited for it. But anyways, go have a great rest of your day. I wouldn't say enjoy the weather. I mean, it's nice out there, but it's a little snowy. But hey, enjoy your time. Do what you want to do. Be safe doing it. Have a great time doing it. Be happy. Stay happy. That's what we're all about here. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, like always, on Facebook and YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the like, hit the share. It'd be much appreciated. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It would also be much appreciated as well. So have a great one. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Deuces, folks.